Hi, so I'm going to do a quick video of showing you how to add base molding. This was something that Anthony caught that I had totally forgotten about because, again, usually it's something that we do all together in class, and we usually do it after we've learned about how to build families, because you'll see that it involves this tool called sweeps, that if you did the tutorial, you learned that first week that you learned how to do voids and sweeps. Sweeps are a lot like when you would make a shape in SketchUp and then pull it up and then create a 3D object that way. So sweeps are based on profiles. Profiles are those, like if you think about the shapes that you would make in SketchUp to make molding, and then you'd pull that shape to, again, stretch it out or give it solidity. That's a molding profile, and that's actually the term you use to order these things, and you can download them as both CAD and Revit files now too. All right, so one of the things I want to point out is to pay attention in your model is that these two walls here, I'm trying to click this back wall here. There we go, control click. There, okay, oh, and control this one. There we go, got it, okay. If you look at these two right here, they're both the same kind of wall type. They're both interior 3 1/8 partition wall. That's what I used for most of my interior walls. So when I go to click and control click on these two, it'll let me basically capture both of them to edit it. If I control and try to, here I'm going to zoom out a little bit to show you my concrete walls are over here. This is the exterior walls here. So if I control those walls again, so I'm kind of control clicking on them. And then if I add this wall to the mix here, notice how I no longer have the option to edit it, because this is one type of wall where these are these generic like concrete exterior walls. So you're going to have to edit these separately than you will these. I'll walk you through both examples. So we're going to first control click whatever walls that are the same type that you're seeing in your view. And now remember, you only have to add base molding to the views that Anthony and I will see in your renderings. So over here on my left, here are my roughly most of my views here, a couple extras. I'm only going to go in and do this to those walls that I'm going to see. I may not see these at all in my model because, again, I cropped in a little bit tighter to show my office a little bit better, but I'm going to show you both and, you know, kind of do that just in case. So in my case, I'm going up here. I have these two interior walls. I'm going to now do edit type. Now, when you first look at this window, you might not have that other bit at the left. If you're missing that, go ahead and click preview. That's showing you the structure of the wall. You might first see it here in floor plan, but then if that's the case, you just click on view down here and you pick section, because you want to be able to see this in section, because it'll make sense as we add molding. You're going to see the base molding pop down here on the floor. So you're going to click edit, and then over here is your option to do sweeps. This is where we're adding in the profile moldings. In my case, I've loaded most of these already, but for you to go find them, you're going to click load profile, and then you're going to go to profiles, and we're going to use finish carpentry. So Revit only has 3 options for base molding. You can take a look at each picture and pick what you like best. The first one is kind of a more traditional, slightly colonial looking. The second one is probably the most basic one. It's just a square with kind of a little bit of a knob on top. The third one, again, is fairly traditional. We're going to be seeing these from such a distance, they're not going to make a huge deal. I will tell you right now, for painting them in, this guy appears a little bit harder because there's all these edges. And you'll see in a minute with this example. So I'm going to use base 2. You can also, if you want to get really fancy, add coves. That's the connection from the wall to the ceiling, that type of molding. I'm going to show you in a bit. You're going to have to figure out what height you're putting these on, and it's a little tricky. So for now, I'm going to pick base 2. I'm going to say open. Now it looks like nothing's there, but I'm going to say add. So I just added a new profile here, and by default, I have base 2 loaded. If you notice, I already also have base 3 loaded because I was playing around with that. In my case, this base comes with multiple height options. I'm going to pick 4.5. That's pretty standard height. And right now you'll see it's going to be on the exterior of the wall. So if I say okay, if you zoom in, there's the base on that side of the wall. However, I'm not sure which side of the wall I'm seeing in my model, so I want to make sure I have both sides of that wall with base molding. So if I click on this guy again, I can just say duplicate, and it's making the same one, so it's base 2, 4.5, and instead of exterior, I'm putting it on the interior side now. So I hit apply, okay, and then I zoom in and I've got the molding on both sides. Great. So let me go back to that for a second. You can material, you can go in here now and put what paint you have on the wall. So in my case, I'm going to say paint. I had some Benjamin Moore. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I probably should search for more instead. Oh, let me do that. Oh, now we're going to look at the blue ball. So let me pause for a minute here. And okay, so that took forever to load, but here's my paint section. So here's that tan. I think I have it on the wall. That's what I'm going to use for my molding. So I say, okay. I'm not going to make you sit through watching the blue ball on this one again. So we're going to say apply, okay, and then okay. And you can see how it paints it in kind of black before we go. This is the one that's currently painted in. So hopefully that's the one on the inside of my wall. So let's see what happens there. It's not. So if you go to the other side of the wall, that molding will be painted brown. But this is okay. So let me show you the other shortcut. If you forgot to kind of click on the paint in there, you can still paint it in this way. One of the reasons why you want to pick a more simple profile here is I'll show you as you go to paint it. If you go to modify, here's the paintbrush. Oh, now we got to save the project. Oh, you are all probably really sick and tired of this blue ball as I am. Let's see if we're going to pause the video again. Okay, back with paint again. All right, so clicked on my paint here, clicked on here, but see how it doesn't paint the whole darn thing. I have to paint it in shapes. So that's that molding there getting painted. I'll decide to keep the tan over here on my accent wall too, so I need to kind of get in there and there, and there it is painted. Don't make yourself crazy getting into every little crevice. Anthony and I will not see it at this. It'll just look like a shadow to us if we don't get all the way in there. So now the next example is to do this on a concrete wall. I'm gonna open up my view a little bit so I can see it a little better. Go like this. All right, so I'm gonna get this wall. I think it works because this wall is one whole block actually, so you can see how it continues on the floor there. So this one I'm gonna edit type. I'm gonna go back over to edit here and then sweeps, and then I'm gonna load my profile. Oh wait, it should actually already be loaded. Let's see, add. And it's that base to 4.5, and then I duplicate, and remember to make one wall interior, one wall exterior. I'm gonna put the material. Let's see if it comes up quick or not. Oh, there it did. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna say okay to all that, and then we're gonna do both sides in that Benjamin Moore paint. Okay, apply. Okay, okay over here. And hopefully they're all tan and they're all nicely molding. So you can see here, there's a molding on either side of the wall. It's showing me it's painted in. I say apply, I say okay, and there they are. And they're all nicely painted in too. Good job. All right, so that one is how you do base moldings. You can, if you want to get super creative, do cornices. If you don't, you can just stop the video now, but I'll just show you quick if you want to do that. There's a little bit extra trick because you gotta remember the math of where my ceiling is. So my ceiling here is at 8 feet. So I want it to come down however many inches that molding is, and then I want to tell it to be on the wall at that height. So this is the kind of trickier part of this guy. So I'm just going to put it on these two walls here. Let's see if I can get this wall. There it is. Okay. Oh, wait, I seem to have something else in there because notice how it didn't let me edit it. Oh, I had the ceiling. So there's that. And then there's that wall. Okay, now we're gonna edit the type, edit sweeps, and now the profile I want to load is going to be a crown molding. So let me see, we have profiles, finished carpentry. There was a kind of a simpler one I liked. Maybe not. 5, 4, there was a nice curvy one that wasn't so, there it is. Okay, there's this guy. All right, so I want to add that. So I'm going to say crown right here. So it's 3.5 inches. So I need to go down 3.5 inches from 8 feet. So that's the offset of where I want this to be. So the distance, let's see. So that's basically 7'9", well, 7 foot, it's actually 8.5 inches. All right, so we're going to add, and we're going to duplicate that. All right, so we have, we don't want, somehow I added another crown by mistake. So we're going to do that one and duplicate. And we want one on the exterior and one on the interior. We'll say apply, okay. Now right now, it looks like it's only like halfway up the wall. For some reason, showing you like 30 feet of this wall because it thinks it's going up to the second level. Remember, if this is my office building, it's trying to do the math for you in a weird sort of way. So let's see how that looks now. All right, so it's telling me that there's a funky spot where it's intersecting with itself. We're okay with that for now. It's probably because it's running down the wall. That looks pretty good. You know, like that works for me. I wouldn't put it over here because I have this mullion here. I did forget to paint that guy though, so I can go back in and just edit it that way and kind of paint it all in that way. So we'll go back to edit and edit here and sweeps. And then for the paint, see how we forgot to do that, but remember that cut and paste trick. So we can say Control C and we're going to paint it here. And then we're going to paint it here. And actually we'll do all of these Benjamin Moore because we'll make that like our trim color. Normally too, I'd be picky and have you go back and change that to a different finish. Remember like gloss, but for now we're not going to be that picky. So we're going to say, okay, okay, apply, okay. And there we go. So we have base molding and crown molding in this room here. Theoretically, you should have some crown over here. But like I said, if I'm going to crop my view like this and like this, I don't know how much of that I'd see. I might make the effort to put it in that wall. But hope this helped. And if you need any additional help figuring this out, go ahead and, like I said, as always, you can contact me and we'll figure it out that way. Bye.